But let's bring on board our guest for today. We have Hemen Kapadia, who's joining us on the technical front, while on the fundamentals, we have Shahina Mukadam on the show. Very good morning to you, Shahina. Good morning to you, Hemen, as well. And Hemen, I'm very tempted. I don't want to use the terminology, but are we seeing some sort of dead cat bounce in the markets, or do you think that this is not a dead cat bounce? This is a sign that bottom was already in place?
A very good afternoon to you, Cheryl. Thank you for having me on the show. It's always a pleasure. I wouldn't say it's a dead cat bounce, but I'd say it's a cat bounce. Markets are deeply oversold. 21,800, very strong support level. Thankfully, we didn't go there. So I believe that in sincere attempt to turn the trend, we've been on a downtrend for some time, Cheryl. I believe a sincere attempt at a technical turnaround is underway. Two bearish gaps, Cheryl, on the Nifty. We still haven't covered those up. But I would say things are beginning to look up. So dead cat bounce, I don't think so. We've gone, 4,400 points from the top, Cheryl. So, and we were close to very strong support level. So I believe some more adjustments could be left. I'm not saying this is the turnaround and everything is hunky-dory from here, but it's the first indication of a technical green shoot coming in. Like I said, these two bearish gaps need to get covered up. Bank Nifty shown relative strength, hasn't broken the bottom. So things are beginning to look a bit promising. So if there is a turnaround, it might surprise people, but I still feel there could be some more time and price adjustment before we can confirm a complete high conviction turnaround. Sure.
Right. Good morning, Hemen. I think I stumped you with my question, so you greeted me good afternoon. How I wish the day would come to an end much sooner. But I don't think most of the market participants would like it that way, given the fact that we're seeing green on the screen. But good morning to you. Good morning to you as well, Shahina. And let me come to you. And I wanted to ask you that are you also in the bank camp who feels that now is the time that you should go ahead and look at the banking stocks, given the valuations are good? But I would want to play a devil's advocate here, Shahina. I want to ask you that we're not seeing good signs when you talk about deposit growth as yet. So what's your take on that? Only based on valuations make sense to go ahead and look at these financial names?
Well, it's valuation, and combined with that is the volatility that's expected in the market. With the geopolitical developments that are happening, and really nobody seems to be too sure as to what's going to happen in terms of tariffs, exports, imports. So to counter that, there is one sector which offers a stable outlook. Plus, it is more domestic linked to an extent. So I would say that banks, yes, we've seen that large cap banks, they are relatively stable. And I think that is where if you're looking for stability and safety of your money for the medium to longer term, you could look at banks to invest in. And the leaders come to mind like HDFC Bank, you have ICICI Bank, SBI. So I think these are the safe areas as of now.
Thank you so much for that, Shahina, for giving your views on the banking space, what looks attractive in that space right now. But let's talk about Gensol Engineering, because this particular counter has been hitting a lower circuit after lower circuit. It has actually now received a revised credit rating from ICRA as well as CARE ratings. What does this mean for the company? How the downgrade is affecting the stock? Sharad is here to decode all of that. Sharad, over to you. Gensol Engineering, once again, lower circuit. What's actually ailing the stock today?
Gensol Engineering is in focus, and this is the second straight day where a rating agency has given a default status to the company. Today, ICRA has downgraded the company's banking facilities to its default status, and this long-term and short-term loans of almost more than 2,000 odd crore rupees. Now, the downgrade is coming from ICRA BBB minus stable ratings to ICRA D, which is standing for the default status. Now, ICRA has actually stated two important commentaries also. First one being certain documents shared by the company on its debt servicing track record, and there have apparently been falsified, which raises concerns on the corporate governance practices, including its liquidity position. Yesterday itself, CARE Ratings also downgraded the long-term and short-term banking facilities, roughly around 800 crore rupees worth of total amount, to default status as well. Now, if you look at the stock itself also, from its all-time highs, the stock has fallen almost 73%, and last year itself stock is down almost 51% on a year-to-date basis. And in February month, over the last 3 trading sessions, we have seen 30% of almost wealth getting eroded for the shareholders.
And thanks, Sharath, for getting us that update. Time now for a very quick breather on the show. On the other side, we'll kickstart taking all of your stock-related queries. So don't go anywhere.
Over a period of time. So, you have to start early. That's the only thing. And look at the bigger picture.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully. Co-powered by new Kia Ceros. Bookings open. Powered by Mirae Asset Mutual Fund. In association with Angel One for Everyone, app for smart investing.
In association with GeoBP Fuel with active technology.
In association with Choice, the joy of earning. In association with HDFC Life, Sar Utha ke Jio.
In association with SBI, be alert, be scam safe.
This week on Mutual Fund Sahi Hai presents Smart Nivesh Sahi Nivesh.
People tend to equate economic independence, which is basically earning an income, to financial independence.
Women understand risk taking, taking a very balanced view of reward versus risk. But risk taking ability and desire is there as much as it is in men.
Right. A better way to invest would be a mutual fund which can offer you more diversification.
At these times,
जहाज में बड़ी-बड़ी चीजें जाते हैं ना पापा?
बड़े-बड़े सपने भी जाते हैं.
ये क्या लोकल चीजें देख रहे हो? तुम्हारे लिए मैं अच्छे वाला लेके देती हूँ, इंपोर्टेड वाला. चलो, आजा.
So, this is the shop I was telling you about.
Namaste. I love those. हाँ मैं पैक कर देता.
पूरा सुन तो लो भाई.
I need 10,000.
10,000 पीस अमेरिका भिजवाने हो जाएगा ना?
हो जाएगा.
हमसे देश विदेश में व्यापार नहीं बढ़ाते हैं.
आपके बड़े-बड़े सपने जा रहे हैं.
सपनों को किनारे तक पहुंचाते हैं. अदानी, हम करके दिखाते हैं.
Dadu,
Yes?
what does premium mean?
Beta, premium you can say is like petrol. The car will keep going till the time it has petrol. Once petrol is over, the car stops.
But Dad, this time even if the petrol is over, our car won't stop.
How come?
With LIC's Jeevan Labh, even after the premium payment tenure is over, the policy's benefits continue.
That means our journey of happiness will continue non-stop.
LIC, हर पल आपके साथ.
अरे टेंशन किस बात की? सेंचुरी प्रोवोट का प्रीमियम प्लस है ना, लो एमिशन, हायर डेंसिटी, वाटर रेजिस्टेंट, टर्माइट एंड बोरर रेजिस्टेंट भी. यानी ये है जहां नो टेंशन वहां.
प्रीमियम प्लस बाय सेंचुरी प्रोवोट.
ब्रो, एक और कर.
ये तू जा रहे?
खुद की सुनने वाले इन्वेस्टर्स के लिए.
अबे बाउंसर
की सुनने वाले इन्वेस्टर्स के लिए. Angel One for Everyone. 3 crore Indians की तरह आप भी शुरू कीजिए.
Investments in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
मैं कुछ बड़ा करने के लिए चल पड़ी. बड़ी पहचान बनाने के लिए एक छोटा कदम. हर महीने एक SIP अपने बिजनेस के नाम. जहां सोच है वहां सपना, और जहां सपना है वहां SIP. SIP करे आपका सपना इन प्रोग्रेस.
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिम के अधीन है. योजना संबंधी सभी दस्तावेजों को सावधानी से पढ़ें.
हर खाते में अपना माइक.
आग लग जाएगी.
रिलैक्स, नहीं लगेगी.
हाँ जानता हूँ. ग्रीन प्लाई के सुपीरियर फायर सेफ प्लाई के साथ सब सेफ है.
शाबाश. ग्रीन प्लाई का सुपीरियर फायर सेफ प्लाई. सेफ इंटीरियर्स का रिप्लाई.
Let me tell you about this online app. It lets you participate virtually in paper trades.
Send me the download link for this app.
Please hold on. Did you find out if this trading platform is registered or not?
Such gaming apps lure you in with easy rewards and bonuses and trap you. Always remember to invest or trade only through registered intermediaries and recognized exchanges for security and peace of mind.
अरे सर, जब कुछ एक्स्ट्रा मिल जाए तो मजा आ जाता है ना। इसीलिए चूज कोटक ELSS टैक्स सेवर फंड, जो दे टैक्स सेविंग के साथ साथ लॉन्ग टर्म वेल्थ क्रिएशन का मौका भी। म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार के जोखिमों के अधीन है। योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
Look beyond the ordinary. Discover potential that's rare. Invest in HSBC Value Fund. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
Welcome back. You're watching bnsn on ET Now, a show where we get you answers for all of your stock-related queries. Remember, viewers, you can connect to us live on the WhatsApp number that will be flashing on your screen. Do remember, each time you write to us, mention your name, the stock that you're looking to invest in, mention that name as well, along with the buy price, the quantity, and the time horizon. If you want to hold on to a stock, that is, if you've already purchased a stock. We have our experts today, Hemen Kapadia on the technicals, while on the fundamentals, we have Shahina, Mukadam to take all of your queries. And let's continue, or rather, let's start taking your queries. Once again, good morning to you, Hemen, as well as Shahina. And Hemen, let me come to you and let me take this query coming in from Bharat. And Bharat wants to know about Reliance Industries. Given the fact that this particular counter has seen a sharp drop over the last few trading sessions, last few months, and do you think it is now at an attractive level? This is the level that one should go ahead and dip into Reliance Industries? Or are you foreseeing some more pressure or downside pressure for this one?
My bad, Shell. A very, very good morning to you. I think, well, yes and no. Frankly speaking, 1200 was a very important level, Shell. That's been breached after some 8-10 weeks. So I would say wait a bit. There is support at 1158. But till it doesn't come back and close about 1200, I think parity is not restored. So if you like Reliance, one can probably start nibbling, but there is yet no technical evidence of a bottoming out process. There could be some more pain left.
All right, thanks Hemen for that outlook coming in as far as Reliance Industries is concerned. And a very good morning to you, Hemen, as well as Shahina. The next one, Shahina, that I have is coming in from our investor who's writing to us about Birlasoft. Vidya is writing to us from Bengaluru. Wants to know about the shares that she's purchased. She's not mentioned the quantity, but the buy price is 543 rupees. She's been holding on for quite some time. But what do you think about the outlook as far as this one's concerned?
You know, after the stock has corrected quite a bit, I think at current levels, valuation-wise, it looks interesting. Also, in terms of, the potential going forward, along with the rupee depreciation that we've had, I believe that, they are moving fast towards the $1 billion mark. So it would be a hold at current levels. Yeah, since the stock has given you that big correction, it's giving you a good bounce now. You could hold it, with a nice deep stop loss of about 400. And I believe over a year's time, you could see a target of somewhere close to about 470.
That's a take coming as far as that particular counter is concerned. Tell you what, Hemen, I'll come to you with the next one because Kalpana Pratap is writing to us about Jubilant Foods. Wants to know about the 75 shares, buy price was 651 rupees. What do you have in mind when it comes to this one? Because Kalpana wants to know if she should add further at this point.
A very good one to you, Shreyanti. I suggest to wait a bit because we've entered a corrective phase. We are close to support. So once again, I would say maybe you can something like an SIP. You buy 1/4 now, wait for things to play out. Support at 600 needs to close about 680 for things to improve. So we've entered an intermediate correction. So buy some and wait to buy more.
And Shahina, very curious to know about your take coming in as far as NHPC is concerned because that's what the next query is about. Murli Prasad, who's writing to us from Noida wants to know about 352 shares of NHPC. 200 thereabout is the buy price. He's been holding on for the last 1 year, and he actually wants to know how much longer should he hold on to for a good profit. Now, it's anyone's guess what a good profit is, but based on your understanding of what a good profit would be for NHPC, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the numbers will start looking better. They have got a lot of capacity that they are adding on. I would say that you can hold it with a stop loss of 68, and then you could look for a target. You're holding it for a year. You could look for a target of 80, 82 rupees. If you're holding it for the medium to longer term, you could see much better levels, which could be even closer to about 90. But I would say 1 year, 85.
Then that's the take coming in as far as NHPC is concerned. The next one that we actually have is coming in on a couple of counters, but the one that we've not addressed thus far is Hero MotoCorp. Hemen, what do you think about this one? Because we do have Dinesh from Noida who's holding on to 100 shares of Hero MotoCorp. Buy price is just about 4,700 rupees, and he wants to know what he should do when it comes to this counter.
Only some patience. For safety's sake, a stop loss of 3,500. If it's a hold, it's got to be for the long term. As of now, deeply oversold, downside limited, 3,500 should be a make or break level sort of. First headache comes in at 3,750. Hold, assuming you have a 2-year investment horizon.
Thanks for that take coming in as far as Hero MotoCorp is concerned. Tell you what, it's time for a very quick breather on the show. On the other side, we'll continue taking all of your stock related queries, so don't go anywhere.
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now, a show where we get you answers for all of your stock-related queries. We have Hemen as well as Shahina Mukadam joining us on the show. They are taking your queries, and let me take the next query. This one is coming from Rajesh. He's writing to us from Vasai, which is located in Mumbai. He wants to know about Polycab. He has about 20 shares of Polycab. He hasn't mentioned his buy price, however, Hemen. What should he do actually, given the fact that Polycab... last year, at the start of last year, this one had a news flow that impacted the stock price performance. This year, at the start of this year, also you have a stock news that has actually kind of shaken the stock price performance, given the fact that you have Ultratech that is going to now foray into cables and wires segment. What should the viewer do in that light? Stay put with Polycab in his portfolio or try to shift in another area altogether? I'll get Shahina your view as well on Polycab after Hemen.
Shell, firstly, I think it's a knee-jerk reaction. Factory setup, everything will take till 2026. It's not going to happen in a jiffy. Having said that, more from a technical point of view, Shell, stock moves from 570 to 7,600 in 4-5 years. I think the laws of gravity need to catch up, and they have. Having said that, if you have such a humongous multi-bagger, honestly speaking, for the next couple of years, one should not expect too much. So for the calendar year 2025, if it makes a new high, I would be unpleasantly surprised. I don't think so. Having said that, deeply oversold, there is very strong support between 45 and 4,600. A medium-term bottom could be around the corner. Right now, it seems more like a short-term corner. A bounce is underway. So a very long-term you hold, even a slightly short-term, medium-term is a hold. I believe a recovery is around the corner. Shell.
The corner, I have Rajesh actually, who's, while we are talking to you, actually who messaged and said that he actually bought this stock right after the news flow of Ultratech. So basically, he's just caught it at the right price. Would you say that actually, Hemen?
Absolutely. I think that's a smart thing to do. Please keep a stop loss of 4,550. A close above 5,050 should give him another $200 on the upside.
All right, Shahina, let me come to you and get your view on this, on Polycab, given the fact that, yes, Ultratech also now is foraying into this one, and we saw what happened to all of these wire companies. What's your take? This is the right opportunity to get into some of these because they have been in this market, they understand the market, and they have better growth prospects when you compare it to a new entrant, because you have to go ahead and build that distribution chain, the supply chain, isn't it?
Well, I think, everything depends on what price you're buying it at. Now, while he's bought it at the correction, even at this correction, I think valuations are pretty expensive. It's more like a commodity business. And with this big player that is coming, Ultratech that is planning to come in, I think it is going to impact the overall margins for the sector as a whole. and which includes Polycab. And given that fact, if you're seeing it valuations, current valuations EV by EBITDA, it's somewhere close to about 20 to 23 times 1 year forward, which in my view is pretty expensive, and which actually could see the stock, maybe if you don't see a price correction, it could see a time-wise correction for the stock. And also, I think since valuations are, expensive, it's priced to perfection even at current levels. Better to keep a stop loss which is closer to your buy price, which is what Hemen suggested, closer to about 4,500, and then you could hold it for the medium to longer term.
The take coming in as far as Polycab India is concerned. Tell you what, Hemen, I'll come to you with the next one because Shaurya is writing to us from Gurugram, wants to know about Varun Beverages. For the next 1 year, what do you have in mind when it comes to this counter?
Not fair to compare, Shreyanshi, but something similar to Polycab. Humongous bull run. We've had an 8-year, I think, up move. We've entered a correction of a greater degree, probably the biggest correction since the listing history that I have. Having said that, short-term bottom is in place. We'll have to wait and see whether that converts into an intermediate bottom. So a bounce is underway and we could make some headway. But yeah, if you take a slightly longer term view, I don't think it's going anywhere for the next 8 to 12 months, Shreyanshi.
Let me come to you actually, Shahina, next with this query coming from D. Mazumdar. He's writing to us from Odisha. He wants a long-term view on Vedanta. He wants to know if he can enter the stock now, given the fact that there has been a demerger. Will it unlock value is what he's asking. And also he has mentioned that he's pretty apprehensive to go ahead and enter the stock, given the fact that it is a highly leveraged stock as well. So when you talk about Vedanta, all of these things actually come in the back of your mind while you have to invest, even if the news flow could be something that may actually be supportive of the company's fundamentals going ahead.
Yeah, actually, Vedanta looks very interesting, and it could be a buy at current levels. But for the fact that there is likely to be tariffs that are imposed by the US government on China, and China being the largest producer for most metals, we do not know how they will react, and what sort of dumping will take place, and what will happen to the overall metal prices going forward. Also, same going for oil. So to that extent, I think you can buy it, but keep a stop loss. Stop loss, I would say, close to about 390. The demerger and the listing of all the separate businesses is a positive, but I think to limit your losses on portfolio, keep a stop loss.
Right, then keep a stop loss. That's the recommendation coming in as far as that particular counter is concerned. The next one that we actually have coming in, Hemen, is coming in from our investor who's Deepak Dave, writing to us from Gandhinagar, long-term investor. Wants to know about Motherson Wiring, bought at just about 40 rupees thereabout. 2,500 shares is what he's holding on to. Wants to know if he should average at this point.
It's a relatively new listing, Shreyanshi. It doesn't have, relatively new listing, I'd say, because it's got listed somewhere in March 22. So not much to go on from a longer term point of view, but yeah, currently decent support at 46, short term bottom in place, and a prolonged downtrend, a recovery is underway. So I would suggest wait a bit because the setup still doesn't inspire confidence. It's been down for multiple months. A recovery does not mean it's a rally. I would wait for things to pan out. The first headache comes at 54. So I think it's going to take some more time in terms of correction.
All right, that's the take coming in on Motherson Wirings. Let me take this one is coming in from a viewer. Not mention the name. Cochin Shipyard is the stock that is purchased 100 shares at a price around 20 to 50 rupees per share. What should the viewer do in this particular counter actually? Shahina, and I'll come to you because Cochin Shipyard is part of that narrative stock that we actually were seeing over the last 1.5 years, 2 years. It was the entire PSU pack, especially PSU defense, shipmaking, shipbuilding. All of them had taken the market by storm with the fantastic and fantabulous rise that they have seen. No doubt in the last 52 weeks, we've seen a downtick. But over the last 2 years or so, a healthy run-up in most of these stocks. From there, they have actually halved. What's your take now on this one? Should he stay put with his holding? Will he be able to recover what he's lost? Or should he now park his money somewhere else?
I think it is, better to continue to hold, given that the stock has corrected substantially. And also added to it where the numbers were pretty weak for the third quarter. But I think the overall order book that the company has is good. And, being a PSU, they would really have to improve their efficiency and get back into reporting better numbers. At the same time, order book is very good. So I would hold for the longer term. If you're invested in Cochin Shipyard, these are not stocks that you can actually trade in. So you hold, and because the stock is corrected and at decent levels now, so you could hold for the longer term.
And that's the take coming in as far as Cochin Shipyard is concerned. The next one is coming in from Nikhil Sharma, writing to us from Mumbai. He wants to know about 10 shares of Infosys that he's holding on to, and his buy price is 1,900 rupees thereabout. Currently sitting at a loss, but wants to know what he should do next.
If it's a longer term hold, Shriyanti, I do not have much to worry about. But if it's the outlook is less than 18 months, I think yes, IT is on the cusp of a correction. Infosys also, and the IT index also, Shriyanti. So I would be cautious. Currently 1669, very strong support, bounce is underway, but his cost of 1900 could take time to come. And if for him to make money on the trade, I think it's going to take some time. So a hold is only from a longer term point of view.
That's the take coming in on some of the tech stocks. Let me take this one coming in from Rohan. He's writing to us from Pune. He wants to know about Adani Wilmar, about 2,000 shares at a price of 386 rupees per share. He wants to hold on to this for the long term. Shahina, he wants to know whether he should add some more of this in the current portfolio. What's your take on Adani Wilmar, given the fact that what is exactly happening with the edible oil and the entire edible oil market right now?
What I would suggest is that, to avoid buying it currently, it's up on news of the merger, the acquisition that they have made recently. But I would say that, there is a bit of uncertainty as to whether Adani themselves will continue to hold, or whether the, partner Wilson will buy them out, and at what price. I think there are too many ifs and buts, better to avoid. There are other stocks in the sector which are looking better at current levels, so it's better to avoid Adani Wilmar.
Coming in as far as Adani Wilmar is concerned, tell you what, I'll come to you, Hemen, with the next one, because Sangeeta is writing to us from Mumbai, wants to know about a couple of counters. Now, ICICI Prudential, 55 shares, buy price was 670 rupees, and also is in a similar situation, sitting at a loss currently. When it comes to Tata Tech, hasn't given any more details, but what do you make of both of these counters?
Okay, as far as ICICI Pru is concerned, the whole market has been that way, deeply oversold, but technically things don't look very copacetic yet. But yeah, 540, very strong support. In the extreme near term, only a close below 540 could mean further weakness. A bounce is around the corner, so I believe a relief should come in. But if this whole game is going to take some time to play out, so it's more of a longer term point of view. Tata Tech, honestly speaking, there is not too much data to go on, in the sense it's a relatively new listing, and since the listing we've seen lot of lower bottom, so don't have much of a view on Tata Tech at the moment, except that it's oversold.
So that's the view coming in on Tata Tech. Yes, you have to keep the caveat. It's a recently listed counter, so there would be a paucity of data as well for Hemen to actually track the stock price. But on that note, thank you so much, Shahina, as well as Hemen, for joining us on the show, for giving us your views and resolving all the stock-related queries. But with that, viewers, we slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. When we come back, we will be back with a very interesting conversation that my colleague Kavita will be having on our Women's Wednesday special episode.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.